Family and good evening. This is face to face with the law. We want for continue for look today by the work way the Constitutional Review Committee they do. And face to face with the law, the partner or joiner with the Constitutional Review Committee we can call CRC for come to the public for tell them the way that review committee they handle. And today while for deal with a particular subcommittee within inside the Constitutional Review Committee, that are the judicial subcommittee. And the subcommittee where they purposely for handle the judiciary aspect, siding, for deal with the public with regards to the judiciary for see if any changes necessary, or if any addition need for be made, or if anything self-fully and things the family people and salon people and need for make deep and judiciary business. So that this subcommittee they handle that, and we get big people from that subcommittee today we want for come and talk, and particularly the topical one for look, but when the subcommittee want for handle this face-to-face time now the judiciary public submission forms. Because remember say this subcommittee we don't come before, not to the first in this, right? And we don't tell the people them some pan the thing and way the subcommittee they for do. So today we want for step a few of them things then they go inside and small bit so that you go able for understand better and we and we'll therefore meet you the submission forms them where they make for the public. You go look at them there, you go able understand, you go able for answer. And so once again this is face to face with the law where they join on with the Constitutional Review Committee for bring to you the topic we title the Judiciary Public Submission Form. And people are waiting at the subcommittee inside the CIC where they deal with the judiciary business then there. Family, you can join me. You can send me text now 078 88 00 078 88 And as always, people and they will come for talk to you. I will make them introduce themselves. I will begin at my far left. I can tell family your name and where you come from.
Well, I'm Victor Morgan, member of the CRC.
Okay, yes sir.
Family, good evening. I'm Victor Houghton. I'm a member of the CRC and particularly attached to the Judicial Subcommittee.
Okay, yes sir. I'll turn to me right. So the big party.
Yes, I'm Justice Valicious Thomas. I'm chairman of this subcommittee and I'm Justice of the Supreme Court.
If I'm going to get the panel listening, so you're going to say this is a serious business. And if somebody want to unbug yourself for again, it's what you do. One for encourage you, I tell that point, you left myself make a listing and make a watch well. And pay attention, make your contribution now 078 88 66 00 078 88 6600. But when we don't talk the judiciary talk, if I'm going to go end up by this Ebola trouble we don't meet we, because we know go come as a lot of people there. We can talk all kinds of things about how the Constitutional Review Committee for work. Then we will not talk about Ebola. There are nothing say we could do better justice to the country, and so we could end it. Yeah, stay tight and pay attention. I'll ask you, Justice Valicious Thomas. Will they go straight to this judiciary public submission forms? What's the name forms?
The forms there are so now the themes and questions with the subcommittee outline for get the public for tell we waiting and want for they na this constitution by specific areas then by the constitution. So that when we put them out, we expect for expressing our views, for letting answer the questions that we did. And any other thing, by that area they we not put, we not talk about, can also put them pan report we not send with the submission form.
Well, if I'm going to go for ask again, see how would I come about then question how we inside these submission forms?
We come about them because we mandate rarely. Now for there, we look at the judicial branch as far as the provisions and concerning the Constitution in line with the Peter Tucker report. So you get the Constitution one side, you look at the provisions that were relevant to the particular theme, then I look at what the Peter Tucker report may say in 2008 and we make recommendations. Now that make, for example, we first theme we deal with the appointment and removal of judges and other judicial officers. So what I will suggest you now do, I will tell you now later on probably, the sign of the constitution with our one day pan. Then if you now get with joint document where we prepare both the constitution and the Peter Tucker report, we will see what in the city and you agree whether you agree with what in the provisions then now or you will let for no change.
Well, family, I sure you don't get that basic background, but I think the question we go on for ask now that when they say judiciary, Mr. Houghton, what's in exactly what I mean? Because people don't understand all this about government. But when we talk about judiciary, what do you mean? Family, I want you explain a bit.
Well, we get 3 arms of government, and judiciary is one of the arms of the 3 government. Judiciary
The 3 and the way government gets.
Yes, the 3 and the way government gets.
Yes.
So when you say judiciary, it entails one, the inferior court, who can call magistrate courts or local courts. Then you get the high court, you get the court of appeal, and you get the Supreme Court. And then 3 component bodies then they form the judicial system as a whole.
And then for deal with justice business.
Justice business.
Inside the country, all over.
All
Not to
over.
just Freetown.
Not all over.
Pamoga, you say you're in this judicial subcommittee inside the CRC. Right? And you have been take part in this question business for put them together.
Yeah.
Right? And if I will go like for no, let you say go more small bit. How the committee sit down, how na engage. No say it not be easy. Because when you talk about judiciary, you talk about bookmanding. Follow na account, then kind of questions, then it not be easy. How na manage for arrive?
Well, we sit down, we hang it together, then we look the pros and cons. You know, things that way good, things that way bad.
Okay, I mean by pros and cons.
Yes.
Okay.
So we sit down, we look all that thing and everything that affect the judiciary and the public.
Okay.
So we think, because public they can talk about the judiciary like this on you know, undue delay in administration. So we think of all that thing and then we think about other things then back.
Okay.
Where the public in the grumble about. So we sit down, we look, we say, well, now we hang it together. We pick all that thing and then we make this questionnaire.
Okay.
So that the people them, we will go to them, then go read them, then see the question, then go see some comment and they will make again. So this will not they tell them waiting for do. Now then they
For
tell
guide them, no
yes,
more.
this is not just a guide, to the public. So when they go read them, then they go decide for
But
themselves.
you know, people when they say judiciary, then a court business, then they afraid, then they scared. And I now get concerned, say something, then go afraid to now, they not go and take part, go and send them forms, then they not go for contribute better.
Well, I don't feel so because
Okay.
for now we don't dey get approach
Okay.
from the public. Then say if they want for join and for participate in this work wey they do.
Okay.
So it open because some people don't begin up skin. Because like yesterday so, I did at the secretariat today. People themselves they go ask for this form. This one has a way chairman talk about.
Okay.
So
And
they
the
be
Peter
able
Tucker draft
the Peter
documents.
Tucker- so this is the joint, the 1991 and the Peter Tucker draft.
Okay.
So they be able to forgive them some. So people they even me self say people they don't approach me. They don't ask for them here. So they say they want for the read them and then they make their own
Thank
contribution.
you. Mr. Houghton, well, I don't know, when I should at the subcommittee meeting, I don't mean get that kind of thought or thinking, say people go just all in central campaign, judicial subcommittee, now how the courts for run, how the courts for operate, then they forget that central thing, how for achieve or how for get justice. No, I mean worry about that. I'm not concerned that it's able to put these things
Well,
together.
We can entertain some of the views of the public.
Okay.
Some of them get a different perception about the judiciary.
Okay.
How it's not too transparent. And they want an institution like the judiciary to be very transparent. Where they go, if somebody disturb them, they will get a fair play, a fair judgment to their satisfaction. So now that kind of judiciary there, plenty of them crave for, and a very impartial judicial system. Where you go there, you have to go gladly say, I will get me a good result.
Just like when you talk, so, people can say any country we get for better. Right now, where the justice system is now,
That not true.
so una
That
heart
not true.
focus on that one day.
Yes.
Because people they monitor now the politics,
Yes.
then they forget about the law. Because if the law is tinap out, if for tinap, the country go tranga, it go tinap better.
One side of
That means on a subcommittee very important.
very, very important.
Yes.
And people, they get so much interest on the effectiveness of the judicial system.
Okay.
They want for let it be proper, let him up. They can't cut it, treat him up. So that kind way they want that. So that the poor man not get any side for go.
Okay.
The only hope we get that for go na that kotus day. And when you go na the kotus, it hope to say it could get
Forget justice day.
Yes.
Nobody know for interfere
Nobody
with
not for
justice.
interfere with
Okay, family, this is face to face with the law. We the joiner or partner with the Constitutional Review Committee, and today we they deal with specifically the Judicial Subcommittee, where there is a CIC, working called Constitutional Review Committee, and this meeting here we look at the judiciary public submission forms. That means to say like the panel don't explain the subcommittee for judiciary don't put together questions them where they don't form a booklet, where a form sort of where they get for give to the public. We get questions there inside where una get for respond to how una see am, how una think am. Waiting the subcommittee they do here now for prepare your mind. Now for at least make you begin for understand some of the things that way they do and waiting there inside then this submission form. So let you get your mindset. And you can join me if I'm blame. I'm if you to say, oh, there are the ingredients. So you can send you text, you can make your contribution 078 88 6600. 078 88 6600. Now, one for begin looking inside the form better. We come to Honorable Mr. Justice Valicious Thomas. The first part inside this form, or the questions, a set of questions, they talk about the appointment and the removal of judges and other judicial officers. Right? The present 1991 Constitution, it talk about some of them things indeed. Well, I don't know if you imagine or one for things, I don't people not look pleased or then think say some changes for take place or waiting how una manage put some of them kind about thoughts they are together we don't put under this appointment and removal of judges.
And this formula, so this submission form, we don't begin for share out. In fact, we don't go Ministry of Justice, Attorney General's office, we don't go the judiciary itself, we don't go prisons, we don't go police. The first theme, now as you say, now the appointment and removal of judges. Now, if you now get the Constitution, or if you now not get the Constitution, you now get with joint document, we get the Constitution and the Peter Tucker report. Between section 135 and 137, you now will see how the present Constitution say for appoint judges and how for remove them. Now, what I will suggest as you now try for fill the forms there, you now look at the question, you now look at the provision now the Constitution, you now look at what Peter Tucker say. Like give you a simple example. Currently, under section 135, now the president, on the recommendation of the Legal and Judicial Service Commission, now they recommend to the president who that and who that then for appoint as judges. I mean, they look one comment from one completed submission form, and I'm going to talk to some people. Some say, if you want for appoint judge, now for advertise them, like how you advertise, if you want clerk, if you want secretary, if you want anybody. But the tradition at the judiciary, not to for advertise for the position of judges. Then they invite certain people for become judge. When you accept, then they start the process. Then they review them, the Judicial Legal Service Commission, then they go to president, then they go parliament. They got to go through all them processes then they. So what would they ask Pandi submission form? Now whether that process they, as we presently put under the Constitution, and as Peter Tucker largely agree with, whether we for continue with them. You now will also see, pan question 2, they ask if that process is sufficiently transparent. Then they investigate this so properly before they approve. Then you also will see, say, pan question 3, we ask one critical question there. And this question now whether we need for the take their recommendations there and appointments there so to parliament for all the judges. I wonder we separate the judges them of the Superior Court, that is the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and the High Court. Then one and they get for go ultimately for parliamentary approval.
Okay.
But the other judicial officers, now the Legal and Judicial Service Commission, now them they appoint, they go for approval. So one
like a magistrate,
like a magistrate, like a master and registrar, like a law officer, all the legal officers in the country, they get for good in that commission. Now then they appoint. So one of the things that we people in the raise, now that yes, the Chief Justice and the justices of the Supreme Court, then definitely for go Parliament. But one suggestion we people in the talk about, and we'll let Polina comment on that, whether in a want that or in a not want that. Now that as far as Court of Appeal judges and High Court judges concerned, they don't need for go Parliament. If they don't investigate properly now the commission, they don't do all waiting them for do. They make a recommendation to the president if I just appoint and then it take the judicial oath. But for the Chief Justice and Justices of the Supreme Court, then they suggest say it's still for go Parliament. But one for knowing the people let's say, waiting they want.
Because presently then High Court judge, Court of Appeal judge, and Supreme Court judge, they're supposed to go to Parliament.
Yes.
So some people tell like some people they say no, enough for so. Yeah. But then the judicial subcommittee wants you they watch me so, let you make up your mind together with you family and look at because this is our opportunity. So man can say, I don't sabi the judge names, I don't know how they pick yourself. But you get opportunity for take part. But how then they appoint a judge. So if you sit down, you say, they are not to this the money me. Tomorrow then go pass until you come in and go decide on something where it become law. If inside the constitution, you not going to change. You come to say, now for nothing. But the other aspects, Mr. Otin, now because you now magistrate, Morgan, you know, if I'm going to go out for no, then no say I can decide cases as justice of the peace for long now. And so then one and they wonder, then they complain about the judiciary all the time say case they delay, adjournment plenty, and I see when I get a portion when I call undue delay in the administration of justice. Family want to make you talk about that small bit, Mr. Otin.
Well, that undue delay of delivering of judgment, of judgment or orders or whatever.
Even the case for you, the case then say, oh they adjourn me case, oh they adjourn me case. But issues then they but see now una don't put on there. And the family and people need for talk about that.
Well, I think the magistrate or the judge, whosoever, they preside over a case for be very firm and strict.
Okay.
Avoid as best as possible the undue adjournments there. Now you, the presider in court, now you, the president in the court, you get a full mandate for control that court, they avoid unnecessary delays. Exceptional adjournment can take place until one of the council representing either party is sick. Then you obviously you will get for adjournment. But the unnecessary adjournment, say I didn't allow the court day, I didn't at this court. Then they go.
What about if the witness no day? The witness way for can't talk no day. The prosecution or the defense, as the case may be, say, I want for gone, but me witness will have one take another day.
Well, adjourn the following day.
Because there are times that the litigant accept they cause the fault.
Yes, for adjourn the next day. If you don't come, you issue bench warrant, then go bring the man come. They can testify.
Pamoka, you don't go.
You say justice delay.
Justice. I agree with you. Pamoka, you don't go. You don't experience some of them things, and
yes, I don't experience the delay. And but the delay, not only that, you know, the major aspect na resources.
Okay.
Resources na the major aspect.
What do you mean we see?
What is the major resources?
Yes.
I mean the finance.
For doing it.
For carry on the work. Because you go find out, say, not only outside Freetown, inside Freetown no more, you get up the provinces as well.
Okay.
So side now one green judge, now in they go round. Okay. So side the magistrate not there at all. Because money not there for appoint.
And for take care of them.
For take care of them.
Okay.
Then you see this now one of the things the provision of the budget is not adequate for the judiciary.
Yeah.
You see, you get magistrate when they move from one place to another place. You find out, say, if I sit court here today, the next day I get for go sit court other side. And I get for make judgment, prepare a judgment until I get for give ruling. So the time I will take for go yonder, the time don't take so well for attend to this particular area. So all lengthening and they cause the undue delay and the case load. Because
that means the case them plenty.
The case them plenty. Because not less than 10 cases you go get for the day.
Where you go able to do
effectively.
But now they get 40, 50,
yeah,
60.
more than that. You get that. Then you get for
salon people
you get for prepare judgment.
Salon people are bugging small.
Definitely. You get for prepare judgment. You get for prepare ruling. So when you want going, they deal with about 20 cases. So
you send self in the mix up.
Definitely.
Mr. Martin, people before you can say the law had an issue. People, some the public when they watch, someone that the lawyer they make the adjourn. The lawyer na in with them. But I didn't say lawyer they not book. Now lawyer them plenty. So I should say lawyer they don't improve. They don't they delay case them so now. Not so.
Yes.
So family go like for no that let no say we the lawyer they go.
But some other areas then they only causes undue delay.
Okay.
For instance, the prisons and the police.
Okay.
At times, the director of prison or prison Kise or the superintendent in charge of central prisons Kise, they don't get vehicle.
For cow the prisoners in a court. Okay.
Another instance, you will say, we get vehicle,
No get security.
but fear not the.
Fear.
Not the. Security not the for escort the prisoners there to court. They're not able to court. So they cases and they're not gone.
And when that can be the prisoners then can revolt na cello.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Don't the police again at times for send the files them quickly in the court. They not they send the files them quickly. It can get called for delay or some other instances and the final can come at all. They can just get for a job. Okay. These are all areas where they cause the delay.
Thank you very much, Honorable Justice Valicious Thomas. I know see the Constitution talk about the time lapse way for take for a judge or a magistrate deliver judgment or deliver ruling. But people in come will see some of the judgment and not take almost years. The judge then as we talk so many things they happen. Right, and now we try for put the judiciary in a certain platform where some things they not go happen. What you go say about that?
The various reasons then for the delay in the administration of justice in this country, then plenty. We're not go able to deal with it all now, but I will just highlight a few of the reasons also for delay. We not get sufficient personnel for man the courts. We need a certain number of judges, magistrates, lay justices of the peace, for now we able for cater and handle for all their cases then they expeditiously, in a timely manner. Now, for example, if you get a Supreme Court where you not get the adequate number of justices for get a full panel of 5 judges, you will find out you will get delay because for even empanel the court will be a problem. If you go to the Court of Appeal, because judges in the Court of Appeal then get power for hear High Court cases. When you pile both High Court cases and Court of Appeal cases on Court of Appeal judges, you don't really expand in workload. Because when you reach to that level there, not to for just say who that you believe, you get to do a lot of research before you go able to write a sensible and reasonable judgment. But if on every single day you get for the Yeri cases and both na the High Court and the Court of Appeal, still you get time for writing judgments there. Similarly, judge in the High Court, he get power for let the empanel na the Court of Appeal. So that Supreme Court judge, he get power for can sit in the Court of Appeal. So in other words, not only that the number of judges and magistrates inadequate, but because the workload don't expand, because then judges are they move from one tier to another tier, it makes it difficult for let the right judges in judgments in a timely manner. And the resources them were available to the judges them and magistrates is inadequate. I don't want to talk about remuneration, salary, okay? But I want
to avoid the
well, exactly. Luckily, electricity don't begin to improve. But also, for example, a judge not even get electricity na net for sit down for do the research for write the judgment. How on earth he will able to give judgment in a timely manner? So you see so many problems in there, and I hope say with people that we don't experience any difficulties there, they go give you their responses there, so that when we pass this information to government will do something for improve the situation.
Thank you very much. Family, this is face-to-face with the law. We partner with the Constitutional Review Committee, and today we deal with the judicial subcommittee, na the Constitutional Review Committee. And the topic they talk about na the judicial public submission forms. Form them we then for give to the public for let them make them answer questions the way they inside. So it will help the subcommittee for know how them for arrange the judicial business inside the constitution we will try for put together. And you can join me, you can send your text now 078886600. 078886600. I was still with you, Honorable Mr. Justice Valicious Thomas. People can say, oh, we the lawyers and say can say, oh, the law that we use now, salon not old. Oh, we're not missing body. And then they unbug justice because we copy from the British system. And then don't revive like who they deal with the last thing and then get the theft act. Yeah. Even the theft act, they don't improve them. Yeah. Right? A lot of things then. Right? And when you look at the ingredients of some of the offenses, then they don't add some. For example, from the old rule, correct me, forget electronic evidence is difficult. But now the world don't go electronics. Right? All over the world, but salon, it must the judge overlook. They accept her inside. Now you get, if you want to put picture and say if you can bring the negative, then if some even question the camera where you use, but now you get an instance photo, pam pam, it come out, and you don't go say not to the thief man they snap or they not catch the cage, but the law as it is. And all the cause problem. So now want the people and talk about this. How would I put this to them?
In fact, honestly, this is now one area where now one of the major problems in the country as far as the law concerned. Now, as you rightly say, we get plenty old, outdated laws them who inherit from England, who we still they use now. But I want to tell people that say in 1975, we've been get what we call the Law Reform Commission Act, where the government will set up this commission for let it say let it promote reform of the laws of Sierra Leone, for let it make provision for the commission in constitution and functions. 1975. Hardly anything happened between 1975 and 1994 when we get MPRC government as far as law reform commission concerned. In 1994, when MPRC came, then passed a decree in 1994, the Law Reform Commission decree. Now, that decree, it repealed the 75 Act. Now, in 1996, when we get civilian government, we get an act we called National Provisional Ruling Council Decree Repeal and Modification Act 1996, where it adopts mostly the provisions of the 1994 decree, but it amend certain provisions. Now, with your permission, I just want to tell the people them say that particular act day, where it create the functions, is very, very wide. The functions then where it give. It say, for example, the commission where they now, the Law Reform Commission.
Yeah, because there's a commission now.
Yes. It say if we keep under review all the law, statutory and otherwise, from time to time enforced in Sierra Leone, so that they can reform the law, then they can develop them, they can consolidate them, then codify them. So the law they in place for let we get law reform. But whether they do the work or they know they do the work now, me feel to say one of the major problems, they lack resources.
Okay.
In fact, now only recently we're able to get accommodation for themselves. Now Usai special court been there. Accommodation have a serious problem.
And when they squeeze now, Wellington State,
yes.
Small building.
So one of the things that I hope say people that will comment about. Now whether they're happy with the state of the law now in development, as you rightly say, the law relating to thief in this country, now the 1916 Larceny Act in England. But even England in 1968, they don't change them to Theft Act. And even after 68, they don't amend them. But we still there with 1996. And the last point I want to make about this Law Reform Commission, I feel to say, the time don't come where we for really mention the Law Reform Commission with Constitution. Because then various dates that we argue, you will find out, say, the 1991 Constitution, it skip them, okay? But if you now look under Chapter 10 of the Constitution, you see various commissions them where the Constitution established. Public Service Commission,
yes.
The other commissions them, and Human Rights Commission, or did it? Law Reform Commission, or did it? So probably the time don't come where under Chapter 10, we rarely get for put the Law Reform Commission at the position where it's supposed for they. So, and we for supply sufficient funds so that they go able for do their work and make we law up to date as far as the society wants.
Thank you very much, Rumble. I should say you enjoy that one day because people can enjoy this, say, oh, waiting judiciary they do, oh, the justice they delay, justice this, justice that, oh, these are too not. But reason then they. The people that are willing for work, the judges that are willing for work, the magistrates that are willing, the judicial officers they're all willing for work. But you know, it's you not go understand, pass you the inside. But now we'll get the opportunity for come out and make sure say we put certain things inside the constitution. We go help for the judiciary for get that free and small. We go help judiciary for able for work better. Remember, if the judiciary come out fine, Salon must come out fine.
Exactly. And
they tell you that it's true. But be certain, people can also say again, judiciary not independent. You see, we're not independent. Before one case car, you go hear them begin saying paper then complimentary card them from outside or not come out. Oh, this I'm a bossing. Or well, if you wake up appointment of judicial officers, judges, magistrates, people if you see some of their appointment, they can be influenced. Okay, to wake up at certain things and taking certain decisions. Right. So as magistrates, and when I don't put this thing there now, this submission form, right? How you can able for encourage or talk to people in heart about that?
Well, according to the constitution, we all know say judiciary is a separate arm of government.
Yes, different from executive and different from legislature.
Yes. But since the judiciary is a separate arm, we believe say for being independent, they forgive judiciary free hand, let they conduct themselves
practically. No, but this 1991 constitution self way with the operate on so now it shows say independent. But practically, which is the institution? Well, and how na go like that?
We go like that for let be a big judiciary affair.
Okay.
Let no any influence not take place as far as the administration of justice is concerned. Let be purely judicial affair. Chief Justice at the head of the judiciary, let it be the sole prerogative of the Chief Justice for manage the effectiveness of the judicial system.
Pamo, can you have for Rob Modi?
Yes,
inside the independence of the
yes, I will let for Rob Modi small because when you say independent, if we be only and solely, no hand, no for Didi.
You know,
politics, no for kind side.
Pamo can force them. Even by money business, the judiciary be self-accounting.
Yes, self-accounting.
But then they don't change nothing. So we begin working on me and they self-accounting. They help the system greatly.
Yes.
But what's in the happy now? We need to let the people know so that they go say, no, let judiciary it up for himself. Let we see how things go improve. Not so? Yes.
Yes, let's make some small contribution for that one because now a burning issue na the judiciary.
Yes.
Now, Section 123 of the 1991 Constitution, it say when we do with judicial function, we for be subject only to the Constitution and law. And nobody no for try for control the judiciary or the judges. Now, you talk about self-accounting.
Yes.
Before a certain time, in fact, the time it changed, the time Akibo Betsman come inside.
I remember that in the correct.
Now, we they able for raise just from probate fees sufficient money for run the judiciary. Just per fees, probate fees.
Economics by then fine them.
All no mix. We they raise over 2 billion within a very short time. Okay. But if you see the amount, the budgetary allocation, the amount of money they give the judiciary for run, it is far less than waiting judiciary in fact they raise. So this whole idea about self-accounting, we they suggest, and we hope say people that go support we, let we get a judiciary fund where at the beginning of the year, Parliament allocates a certain amount for run the judiciary. And we for able to give an account how that money how they use that money they. We get an audit service in this country. But this business of if you want to buy fuel, if you want to buy this, you want to buy that, pass you get for go cap in hand to another ministry for let it give money and not feel to say it right. In fact, it contrary to Section 123, we say we for be free and we not for be subject to the control or direction of any person or authority. But this business of going cap in hand to whoever so that they go able for give small money for run the judiciary, I feel to say, you know, right, and I hope say the people of this country go try for begin for talk about that, law go change the situation.
And Fabula, let me just add this. You know, you will say, oh, I make judiciary change. You know, just manage go na courts one day, go see outside the judge, how the judge in the office stand. You know, go likely your papa or your mama self be judge. Go see the office. I mean, go see some of the vehicle where the judges then they drive. Where then they ride. If they broke down, If it broke down now, one criminal when them just sentence or when them pay a fine, it go attacker. How the country go there? Go see some decide outside and tap. Security not even there. Fence not even there. Then you call somebody when they dispense or when they deal with justice. Then you want make 2 days in the country. Until Salon take the judiciary serious. Believe me, we got problem in this country. We get for talker. Whether you want to, you know, some of who did it, we know waiting on the bill. Don't spend years there. I understand. Until as a country and as a people, you when they watch me, so you say no. This country will this guy for check. The judiciary own business for sit down and make accept, make it enough. Tranga so go able to forget the lost threat. The country the threat until we reach that point. No problem. No more they go round as a country and as a people. Remember, any country where the judiciary is in Tranga, our country they must better. The question is, we own judiciary in Tranga? Well, why should you think for answer? The first set of questions don't come. We want for looking. Remember, I tell you, so you can join me at 078 88 6600 078 88 6600. Somebody say yes. He say the judiciary need for be reformed, not only in writing. I mean, not to bamboo no more right there. Law reform. The information for take place. He say it will be practical. For example, he say the ordinary man for go court and if a policeman go court, we take advantage para. He say because the police they always get right and they beat you, then deal with you, then charge you back. He say sign no dey for complaint. He say but if we reform we law then, he say we put that in place. He say that one day it must bring big change. Yes, sir. I wish that.
I agree with that. You know, the work where the judiciary they do, I think we for do them in a God-fearing manner. If you know say you know one willing for do right, not take the job. That's not my own position. But if you take the job, you for prepare for do right. And I'm not only talking about judges and magistrates. I talk about all the other personnel where they in the administration of justice, including the police. Like this example you also will give. Now, whether police then they do the right thing or not do the right thing, everybody gets an opinion about that. May not go for tell anybody. But we all were there in the administration of justice. I feel to say now with duty, once we don't decide for take the work, for do it right.
Okay, other person say I believe say the most urgent change for be the clause where they give government the right for arrest citizen for libel. See this libel law for changer. Mr. Otin. Now big thing.
I'm not going to subscribe for them to change the libel act.
You don't want that?
No. Because at times
when I say government or we don't come with them where we don't they come self, then they abuse this libel law business here.
The only thing as you don't rightly say, let we do things fairly in the court justice stock. But we self they see some kind of publication there where then they write some newspaper against some people there. They know they do the investigation properly. You know, for take the side of one person where they can tell you, see, Mr. X don't do so, Mr. X don't do so. You take them for granted, you do the publication. I think that is wrong. Okay. If of course check your facts them properly.
And if you miss that, the law for able check you.
Yes, because check before you do your publication. If you act otherwise from that, then the law will take action against you.
Okay, Morgan, somebody say we get big interest pan the law and this country say because after God we make we say na government and na the law. He say but people like say the law afraid the government.
Well, me not feel say the law afraid the government because na the implementation. I think we on that side they execute with duty.
Well, look at the other person say. He say in fact that question is where they ask you if I say because government interfere and case they make beaucoup case they delay. So it be you na lay magistrate.
Well, then they own I not go say much about that because me nobody not even approach me one day. So I don't know whether that they happen or not they happen. But I mean one time don't they say we one woman been go to court. In the break say in the go see president make a lot of noise. But on the other hand, the person will be in the break for, then detain him. So later on, the body cold. No, letter no come or note no come from president.
Okay. Somebody say I thank you for the education. You say beaucoup injustice there na the judiciary. Say himself you say in a victim himself.
Well, that
injustice there or not?
now it's difficult for answer.
No, but it depends on how the person perceive it.
Yes.
At times, if the law turn to you, you go say, "Oh, justice sweet."
Yes.
When the law turn up against you, you say, "Oh, na injustice." Those are at
Yes,
times.
some people when they don't get what they want, they don't
Then-
get the
then
court
complain.
order, then they complain.
Yes.
Say the court impartial and kind of thing. And but when they go in their favor, then they jubilate, then they gladdy.
Okay, Honorable Justice Valentine, somebody say, bad thing that the judiciary now. He said, they all ended by party and by color. He say, and when some case then come, and tell you say, so and so lawyer you for take. Or if you go to so and so court, so the case go come out, so it not go come out. But that's what it be, sir. Go ask you yourself in the assigned cases. You don't practice before you become a Supreme Court judge.
The situation now one in which it depends upon the integrity of the person. I think to say now key factor that if the person a person of integrity, a person of truth, a person where it afraid God, it go take time waiting it do. Because if you don't want let them do you injustice, not put in motion a system for do injustice to another person. So any person where probably it in a position of responsibility, if they play them kind games then they one day it will be exposed. So now that make me go advise we all, including myself, in dispensing justice, let we always endeavor for do the right thing. Because we not go want let them do the wrong thing to me.
Thank you very much, sir. But I want to take all small bits as we round up now. I want to talk about Ebola. Now we've been on 3 days where government lock the country per week. You know, somebody they tell me today say, and now you know say jail act. Say when they lock her inside, oh safe for 3 days. Say you know feel fine. How much more when somebody do wrong then they go lock her up? But how we see the Ebola business they go now after this 3 days?
Well, me I'm glad for the 3-day lockdown. I'm glad. Okay. The reason we make a glad because all the one them way them reports to we say then go find diamond and host, will surprise me. Then go find sick one and a host.
So on that bed.
Yes, if they're not being get that lockdown day, we're not for able for fenam. But me one advice I want for give we all, including myself. In fact, when the party they can call me and they ask me, say how this is, I say we for take the precautions. We're too stubborn, we're too stiff-necked in this country. Now they don't tell we say let we they wash with hands, let we they keep we compound and clean. Let we they do the things them we go prevent this thing also for spread. So me want for beg we all. When our two Sierra Leoneans they say, let we take the precautions and keep this Ebola and spread one down. Let we not hide. When you hide, now we settle with the same problem.
Mr. Austin, how the Ebola? Quickly.
Well, me want to congratulate the government for taking this bold step. Initially, when they announced this 3-day shutdown, the public not be taken kindly to that. They say, "Power to go eat."
No, sir. No, sir. Salomon like seeing is believing.
Yes. But when
But this way I will feel like,
yes.
no, this I will feel like
Yes.
we enjoy it. So,
when they see her and they see the good things
Yes.
will come out,
Yeah.
then will be the idol that bid will come out. Then they advocate for them go get another 3-day shutdown during the month of October. You see, good result come out from this thing. And as Justice Thomas will say, let will go by the rules. Let will take the necessary precaution. If you prevent yourself, you avoid the things that you know for do. You see, it will minimize or it will vanish completely from society.
okay, thank you, Pa Morgan.
Yeah.
It's Ebola business.
Like how the
Then
last
can
two
begin
speakers
them.
they don't talk. I mean, nothing where we supposed to take precaution.
Okay.
In fact, as of now, some people still know the idea. They still think, yes. Some man for one hand, self, you know, the worst hand. Some man, they go self, the chican. Me don't see people in the street and they grip themselves. So, it's bad they not they take instruction. So, the Ebola area, just like in Nigeria today, at least in CNN, that mean 19, 7 die. The rest free. So, if we take precaution, we abide by the rules and regulations. When they say no do this, let we not do them. Let we not say it day. That way they take and make play, let them all farm and carry
You
on.
can tell
Right.
family goodbye.
Well, farm with them on a goodbye. We come, now we go.
Mr. Houghton, can you tell goodbye?
Family, we tell you that thank you for listening. And we tell you that plenty thank you for our contribution all sent by text message. We tell you that thank you and we say goodbye now.
Honorable Justice Valencious Thomas.
Me want for encourage we all for let we try for completed submission forms there, so let we express we views them clearly so that when the constitution will come out at the end, it will say yes, I contribute to the making of a new constitution for Sierra Leone.
Well, family, on behalf of my studio crew and the producer, and Mr. Michael Kabun, and James Momodu Fona, they say goodbye. But before I go, I want to tell you back, I want to make Papa government listen to me. If government not take the judiciary serious, that means to say they not take the country serious. This country will only better will take the judiciary serious. Make the judges then get waiting and forget. Make the magistrates then get their respect in all spheres. Then host their office. Some of them go out for big judge. Baba will they think that day, but they see, Papa government if things not change. Now that's a goodbye, huh? Bye bye.
Having you as a daughter made us realize how beautiful life is. Your smiles always brightens our day. May every day bring something new and exciting for you as you celebrate this special day. May the Almighty Allah send